Welcome back, HS, to this week's episode of Eye of the Needle. I'm Bennett Whetstone.
I'm Corbin Johnson, and I'm here with sports. Last Wednesday, we had our state qualifying meet for cross country, and two of our very own journalists, Bennett Whetstone and Claire Pellet, qualified. Congratulations, you two, and best of luck. The cross country state meet is October 28th, which is a Saturday, so you have time. Go and cheer on our runners, why don't we?
Now with the fall sports season coming to an end, basketball, wrestling, and archery are all going to be starting soon. If you aren't already participating, maybe go out and start a sport.
Parents, if your child is in archery, the meeting is from 6 to 7 in the Commons on Tuesday.
And now for this week's school news.
There'll be no school Thursday or Friday because of parent-teacher conferences, so students enjoy your extra long weekend.
And on Friday and Saturday, there's the Bull Creek Invitational for speech and debate. Last Tuesday, Iowa State Patrol came to Atlantic High School and hosted a safety carnival to show the dangers of impaired driving.
One of the things the state troopers held was the field sobriety test, where students would put on drunk goggles to give the effect of inebriation and would have to do a line walk. Another thing was the pedal cart, where students would participate in wearing those dizzy goggles again, driving a course with a pedal car, or shooting a basket.
What's that? Oh my.
The seatbelt commencer was a contraption that launched students forward to feel what it was like just to have a crash at 10 miles per hour. Golf cart texting and driving is where students would give their numbers to the state troopers, and they would have a conversation while driving around a coned off course that the troopers set out.
And finally, on display for all of AHS to see, there was a crashed Camaro that took the lives of 3 teenagers in Dubuque. This crash was a result of excessive speeding. When on the road, please be considerate of other drivers and their lives, and your life too.
I'm here with Trooper McCready about the carnival we had for distracted drivers and instances. What was the goal of today's event?
Well, the goal of today's event is one of the trends that we've been seeing in traffic collisions is an increase, a dramatic increase in teen fatal crashes. So the whole purpose of this entire event, which started with a week-long classroom portion taught to Dan Vargason's leadership class, was to kind of bring it all together, because we talked about the 4 elements of safety: seatbelts, impairment, distraction, and excessive speed in the classroom setting. So the goal was to bring it to a hands-on setting so that way kids could actually interact in a safe environment and see the consequences of their decision in real time. You want to put kids in positions where they understand that the dangers are real and that they cannot multitask behind the wheel of a car. And so putting them in situations such as the golf cart course allows them to figure out, hey, when my attention's divided, I'm not doing either thing well, and in a safe environment to which there is no real catastrophic, result. But it does at least give them the knowledge that this isn't as easy as I may think it is.
Do you think that today's event went well?
I do think today's event went well. This is the first time that we've ever brought these type of resources and this kind of manpower to one location. There was an incredible amount of resources here in terms of our driving instructors, our reconstructionists. We flew drones overhead to get video of the event. We had all kinds of personnel here doing the various activities. So I really hope that, even despite the downtime that, some kids had to endure, I really hope that the impact of today's event sticks with them and they think about these events and they think about the things that we brought today when they're out driving on their own and making choices that may lead to serious injury or worse, death.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to again thank the Atlantic School Administration, Dan Vargason for all of his hard work on this. Olson's Outdoor Power and Nishna Valley Cycle donated the use of golf carts for the day, so it really was something that required a lot of effort, a lot of support, and I'm just thankful that we have a community that are willing to do things to help our young drivers see the dangerous behaviors that might lead to something more serious.
And thank you to the state troopers and the Iowa State Patrol, as well as Senior Vargason and his leadership class. And a special shout out to Trooper McCready. Thank you.
And AHS, please be safe out on our roads. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mason McFadden.
And I'm Addie Welch.
This week we covered a very sensitive topic, the impact that an injury can have on a person.
We talked to our own journalists Nick Bennett, Varg, and Andy Neiman about the lasting impact injuries have.
I'm Nick Bennett, a senior at Atlantic High School.
What sports do you play?
I play football and then tennis in the spring. Yeah, so I broke my ankle about 2 weeks ago. I broke the tibia and the fibia. I broke both of them. It's an unstable injury, so I had to go in and get, it's called open reduction surgery on my foot.
Besides the physical impact that this injury has on you, what's the mental side of it look like for you?
It's really lonely, actually. Especially the past week. I was really just kind of staying at home and laying in my bed. Getting to school has been a lot of fun, getting back to school, but up until now it was really just me kind of laying down at home alone, which was really lonely. But I think that's a lot to do with it. It's really lonely and just kind of sad.
What would you done differently to prevent this injury?
I don't think I really would have done anything. I think it happened, and I think it was meant to happen. I think that everything happens for a reason. So I think there was a reason behind this. It's just a setback that I have to overcome, and it'll make me a better person. So I think I don't think I would have changed anything. Yeah, no, I never really thought I would be injured ever, and especially not missing some of my football season or the rest of my football season. I never really thought I'd be injured. This is my first ever major injury, and I guess I never really thought it would happen to me. But no, seeing now how hard it is to go through it, I definitely have a lot of respect for people that have done anything to their body, that have broken any bones or torn an ACL or anything like that. It's definitely put it into perspective for me now.
And what's honestly getting you through this?
Just getting back to school and having fun with the people in the school and just joking around, really. That's kind of my way of dealing with things. So getting back in the swing of my typical daily events, my typical daily schedule, and I guess joking around and messing around with the guys has been a lot of fun. So that's really what's been getting me through this tough injury.
Yeah, I'm Dan Vargason, cross-country coach, basketball coach, and Spanish leadership teacher. I've broken over 20 bones, multiple concussions, dislocated knee, so I've had quite a few myself.
Which of these injuries have affected you the most?
I would say the broken legs for sure. I broke my tibia twice in the same spot 2 years apart. That's caused some complications, a lot of sensitivity to the bone area. And then actually recently I've had a lot of flare-ups while I've been running that are caused by issues stemming back to the broken leg. So I'd say that. Well, both of them were season-ending injuries for the broken legs. The first one, it took actually a lot of my cross-country season away. The next year I wasn't cleared until the day before sophomore year of cross-country, and then the same deal with sophomore year when I broke it. Didn't get back on time for junior year of cross-country. That was rough. And then I think the biggest issue would be my playing time moving forward. It took a long time to get good at soccer again after doing it. The first time I was in a cast for almost 4 months, and the second time was about 3.
What would you say to athletes that have been experiencing injuries?
Recover correctly. That's the biggest thing I would say. I rushed mine, and that's probably why I'm paying for it, and a lot of things hurt that maybe shouldn't at 33. But the biggest thing is follow it, especially with Andy Neiman, our trainer. He does a great job of doing things that are going to get you healthy. So taking your time on your rehab and not rushing it, and also reach out to people. I think it's a very lonely place when you get hurt, especially if you're in athletics. People ignore you. They kind of forget about you and assume that you're just healing up. But on the mental side, it can be pretty devastating to just get abandoned by your teammates and come back from an injury on your own. I would just say, even after injuries, everything is still possible. After my second broken leg, I had a doctor tell me I probably wouldn't do any competitive or distance running again. 3 years later, I did my first marathon. So I would just say, again, don't give up on things just because of the injury, but again, don't rush it. I probably did a little bit too fast, but don't give up on things just because there was an injury. Injuries happen to a lot of people, and they vary. You know, it's not just the torn ACLs and broken bones, the serious injuries like that are an issue. It can be little things, sprained ankles that can linger. All of those things, they're equally important to take care of, and make sure you take care of your body, rest up, and learn how to deal with the adversity.
Here with Andy Neiman, and he's going to talk about what it's like to be injured and injury prevention and what he does here in our high school. So what do you do here at the high school? What's your role?
Yeah, so I'm an athletic trainer. I come up from the hospital pretty much every day, and I'm here to help evaluate injuries, give advice on injury rehabilitation, do referrals, maybe you have something that needs x-rays, or maybe it will need surgery, something more serious. So help coordinate all those different types of things when someone might have a bump, bruise, or something maybe a little more serious.
Yeah, so if it's like a more serious injury, what is it like to have to tell a student athlete their season might be over?
Yeah, that's definitely my least favorite part. It never gets any easier, but I think that's where getting to know all of you guys, all of my athletes here at the school, is important, so that you can have some sort of a relationship. It makes it a little easier to have a difficult conversation with them. And then, it's just always letting them know that we have your best interests at heart. And it's not that I want to tell you the bad news, but we want to make sure that we're doing the right things for your health long term. There's a lot of life to live after high school and sports. Maybe you're going to play college sports, or maybe you just want to be able to walk up and down the stairs when you get older, or whatever it might be. So, trying to give some perspective that way too, trying to be supportive, and it might feel like the end of the world sometimes, but that's something that you can get through it. That's part of why we're here. I think there's a lot of different coping strategies, and there's a lot of different things that you can do. Some people will talk to a counselor, or work on different mental toughness things. There's positive self-talk. There's a lot of different strategies that you can utilize to help get through the mental side of an injury, which can be just as debilitating as the physical side sometimes, especially if you've never had an injury or missed a lot of time before, or maybe, like you said before, it's a season-ending type of injury. So having someone to talk to can be really good. I know you have resources here at the school. I'm always a resource or can get you hooked up with someone. But otherwise, some people like to have the challenge and attacking their rehab if it's an injury that maybe is going to need some rehabilitation. Sometimes people actually kind of enjoy that, because it's not like, I'm hurt, I just got to sit around and do nothing. You're actually being an active participant in your rehabilitation and recovery, so that can be helpful as well.
Is there anything else you'd like to add for the athletes?
No, go Trojans, baby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just realize that it can happen to you, so you need to cherish every moment, especially with like a sports season, like football, volleyball, cross country, anything like that. You need to cherish every moment that you have in high school, because it can be over all in a second, in a minute, and you'll never get to play that sport again.